Hello guys, Escalante here, and here are my top 10 reasons to becoming an entrepreneur and starting your own business. Now, this is for two different types of people. Number one, you're already an entrepreneur, and maybe you just need a little bit more encouragement and maybe some more reasons to push a little bit harder. Or you're the second type of person, which you're not an entrepreneur, and maybe I'm here to convince you why you actually should. So take a look. Good, so number one, you have a voice. Unless you become an entrepreneur, it is very, very difficult to actually communicate a message. For me, as a soccer coach and building my own business around that, I can communicate my message instead of being with other coaches that won't actually accept or listen to what I actually have to say. But when I run my own thing, I can communicate and coach the way that I like it. Same thing with these videos. I can communicate the message that I like. I've learned these tips. I've done my research, and now I can communicate that to you guys. Number two, it's okay to be weird. When you're an entrepreneur, a lot of people actually say it, and maybe you can relate if you actually are one, but if you're not, some people will go ahead and tell you that you are weird. You're weird for doing this. You're weird for investing that way. You're weird for spending your time that way. That is a compliment, my friend. Being weird is a big, big compliment. Number three, it is the closest thing you'll be doing to sports, especially if you're a competitive person. I can relate. I was a Division I athlete, and after trying to play professional and not happening, it was kind of like a shock to me. So what I did is I tried to play here, I played there, but it wasn't the same anymore. When I became an entrepreneur, it's kind of like playing a game of chess, a board game, whatever. Think of a game that you've become really competitive at. This is the closest thing. You become very competitive becoming an entrepreneur and having a voice and communicating and trying to better yourself every single time. Number four is happiness. Haven't you noticed that most entrepreneurs, if not all of them, are always motivated and somehow always have this energy within? Well, the reason is because as an entrepreneur, you meet different people. You let go of the people that were holding you back, and you find people that are taking you upwards. Does that make sense? You're with these people, and guess what? You're always gonna have somebody that's pulling you upwards, that's motivating you to go forwards. And so, same thing with me. I take these messages from my mentors. They are very happy people, and I try to communicate the same message to you to pull you upward if you need it. Number five, you get paid what you are worth. When you're working a job for somebody else, you're probably making 10, 15, 25, 30, maybe $35 an hour. Okay, so you have that wage for the month, for the year. When you're an entrepreneur, you probably won't be making as much as you are in your job at the beginning, but it's more of the long-term thinking. If you want to be making 50 grand a year, then that's good. That's what you're worth. If you want to be making 100 grand, if you want to be making 250 grand, 500 grand, $1 million a year, that's what you are worth. But you have the capability to actually do that. Not when you're working with somebody else. You can't go ahead and say, can I get a raise? You just have to work harder and give more value. So yes, you get paid what you're worth, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you have the capability to do that on your own, and you choose, hey, I want to make this much money, so I have to work this much. I hope that makes sense. Number six, no degrees needed. And yes, I do have a 4-year degree from a university, but I'll tell you this, what I learned there has nothing to really do about what I'm doing as an entrepreneur. As a Spanish major, yes, it does help me with becoming bilingual and being able to communicate in 2 different languages. But I'll tell you this, all the education that I've learned in this last year surpasses that from college. That's my personal opinion, and I'll tell you this, most people that are super successful never went to high school, and better, worse off than that, they didn't even go to college. So no degrees needed, nothing against an education, but I'll tell you this, it's not required to become a successful entrepreneur. Number seven, age does not matter. You can be 17, you can be 60, and still be learning the principles of entrepreneurship and become very, very successful. I personally know a lot of people that are in their 50s just starting, and they've, in their own opinion, it's probably one of their better years. It's almost like being reborn. And that's something that us as entrepreneurs notice. When you become one, you start thinking differently, you start building better relationships. So regardless if you're 17 years old or 50 years old, age does not matter when you become an entrepreneur and make your own business. Number 8 is the unknown. Without making your own business and working for yourself, you'll never know what you're actually capable of doing. Maybe you never knew that you were good at playing the guitar, that you were good at communicating a message, so on and so forth. There's a lot of things that you will never know that you're good if you don't actually take that step, make your own business, become an entrepreneur, and work for yourself. Being able to hire other people, you probably never know that you're really good at that if you never took that step. And I know it's scary, it's happened to me, but I've realized how many things I've actually been able to overcome and how many things I'm actually good at that I always thought in high school when I was a student that I was not very good at. I was a very shy kid, and now communicating this message for you guys hopefully motivates you to take action. Number 9 is developing unique muscles. Now, the way this is described is if you do a bicep curl. You do a bicep curl, you're most likely gonna develop your bicep, okay? You do some bench press, most likely you're gonna develop your chest muscles. Now, as an entrepreneur, you have to develop new things. Being able to hire other people, being able to communicate well, being able to speak in front of people, being able to do a lot of different things that you kind of going on back to the previous message, that you don't know that you're actually good at those things. So you develop these great qualities that if it wasn't for working for yourself, you would never actually find out. And number 10 is constantly creating and becoming a better version of yourself. Now think about it. I'm 27. If I'm not actually setting standards and becoming better every 60 to 90 days, then I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna be successful. So just imagine that. If I'm 27 now and I constantly get better every 3 months, imagine where I'll be when I'm 30, 35, okay? I don't know how old you are. Maybe you're 20, okay? If you constantly get better every 3 months, imagine where you'll be when you're 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Now, if you are 50, remember, age doesn't matter. If you start at 50, maybe even 55, and you constantly get better in those 3 months, and 3 months, and 3 months, imagine where you'll be at 56, 57, 60, those kinds of things. But you will never, ever find out if you never set goals. So yes, you become a better version of yourself, and I think it's personally one of my favorite and one of the best reasons to become an entrepreneur and work for yourself, make your own business, being able to hire other people, communicate, because you develop all these qualities and you become a better version of yourself. So those are my 10 reasons to becoming an entrepreneur and starting your own business. If you learned anything, if any of these motivated you at all, please comment below which one was your favorite. If it wasn't part of the list, please make sure you still comment it below. I would love to hear. Subscribe, it would really help out the channel and the video. I really hope you guys learned something. Below, the link below, I have my #1 recommendation on building an online business. I am a soccer coach. I have my own brick and mortar business with my brother, but if you are ready to take initiative in starting an online business, in the link below I explain detail by detail how to create a successful business. So click the link below if you're interested. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching. Escalante, and we'll see you in the next video.